Hi, it's Mr. H, and today we'll look at line 5 of the level 6 rhythm sheet. First, I'll demonstrate for you. Ready, go. Ta 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 ta. How'd you do with that? If you got it, terrific. Go ahead and play it on one note. And if you'd like more help with this line, keep watching the video. The first thing I'd like to do is go a little bit slower with this. Since there's so many eighth notes and eighth rests, we really have to be careful with the speed. So let's just try one more time a little bit slower. And the metronome is clicking eighth notes. Ready, go. Ta 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 ta. Maybe you did a little bit better that time. If not, don't worry about it. We'll take a look at this one measure at a time. Looking at the first measure, once again, this is a review of previous lines that we've learned. One of the just tricks to keep an eye out for is this quarter note here. If you're looking at just the spacing of the notes, it can be very easy to think that this quarter note is an eighth note. So what makes it an eighth note is that what we call a flag. There's no flag here. So this is a quarter note, and we'll have to be on the watch for that. Remember also that we should be thinking of this in beats. And if you look at it this way, hopefully it seems a little easier to you. The first beat always starts on a down, and then the eighth rest is an up, so that would be ta. If you notice, this is the exact same thing, and this is the exact same thing. Another interesting thing about this line is even though it has all these eighth rests in it, every note is on the down. So the quarter note is on the down, and then the first eighth note of the beat is on the down, and the next eighth note of the beat is on the down. And perhaps we should put the upbeats in here to make sure you understand how that adds up. So again, remembering that this quarter note has both a down and an up in it. So every note's going to be on a downbeat. If you were to not say the rests, but give them their space, it would just be ta, 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 which is essentially the same as 4 quarter notes. Now the difference is, even if I was doing this in music, in a real song, this is it's even though it's on the beat, there's a rest. So this would be short, and this quarter note would be longer. So if I did this more musically without saying the rest, again, it would be ta, 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 ta. I would have to be sure to leave space for the rest when I do that. Let's try it once with the metronome. Ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. This is definitely a rhythm that looks harder than it is, I think. If you need to stop the video and work on this measure a little bit more, go right ahead. we'll look at the second measure. Once again, remembering to see where the beats are. This is really the most important thing in learning to read these rhythms, is just to get our eyes to see what the beat is, where the downbeat is and where the upbeat is. So in this case, a rest is the first thing that we have in the measure, so that's going to be the down. The eighth note will be an up. Of course, the quarter note gets both a down and an up. Then we have two eighth rests. Remember, that's the same as eighth notes, except we say instead of ta-ta. And then another quarter note. So looking at this one beat at a time, we know what a quarter note is, no big deal. This is a quarter note, no big deal. We know what is, and we know how to go ta. So we're just connecting these beats into, a steady pulse or steady rhythm. But individually, hopefully they seem fairly simple to you. If we start here, it'll go ta 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 And if we put the metronome on, ready, go. Ta ta ta. We're really just looking at this one beat at a time. If you need more practice on that, go ahead and work on it yourself. Pause the video. Moving on. Once again, let's find the beats. Let's see if our eyes can see where the downs and ups are. Analyzing this one beat at a time, you'll notice that the first two beats are identical and the second two beats are identical. What's tough potentially is switching from down, playing on a down and resting on the up, ta ta By itself, that's not too hard, but this switch right here can throw people off. This measure is ta, and I'm sorry, I called it a measure, but that's a beat, ta, and this beat is ta. So we'll try from the beginning, be really careful right there. Ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. And if we try with our metronome, ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. Once again, practice that on your own. Make sure you understand it. One measure at a time, even one beat at a time. And here's the last measure. So looking at the beats for this, here's our 4 beats in the measure. The first and last beats are very simple, ta ta and ta ta. Should be no problem. And the second beat, ta. The third beat, ta. Now before we go further, I do want to point out something here that we may not have mentioned before. You notice that these two eighth notes are beamed, and these two eighth notes are not connected. They're shown as single eighth notes. The reason for that is the beam, it helps you see the beat. So when you see two beamed eighth notes, we pretty much automatically know that the first eighth note is a down and the second eighth note is an up. And that will happen almost all the time. The middle beat is not beamed together because they're not part of the same beat. So this is a way for your eyes to understand whether this eighth note is on a downbeat or an upbeat. It's paired there. So the first rest is a down, and that's an up. And then this time the note is on a down, and the rest is an up. But understanding why eighth notes are beamed and why sometimes they're shown as individual notes is important to recognizing rhythms when you're trying to play music. This rhythm will go like this. Ta, 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 ta. And once again, we're just piecing together all these rhythms that we already know, just in a different order. Ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. Once again, practice this measure till you're comfortable with it. Once you have it, we'll start trying to put it together. So now we're going to look at these without all the markings and without all the boxes. One other reminder I would make to you is we're just keeping a steady eighth note. So even without thinking about downs and ups, we could think of this just all as a down. And we're just saying ta on the note and on the rest. So ta, 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 ta. And that can be a good starting point for trying to understand these rhythms. We should try to do it as down and ups, though. It's more correct and more musical. Ready, go. Ta, 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 ta. If we were able to do that, we'll go to the, we'll add a measure. If not, stop the video and just work on it a little bit. Okay, beginning here now, and it starts on a rest. Ready, go. Ta, ta, ta. Ta, 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 ta. Feel free to practice that as much as you need to before trying the entire line. Once again, I'll just caution you, look out for the quarter notes here and here. This line is almost entirely eighth notes and eighth rests, but there is a quarter note here and a quarter note there. Make sure we give those quarter notes two eighth note beats. Okay? Ready? Go. Ta, 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 ta. If you got it, go ahead and try it on your own and play on one note. And if you had trouble with it, don't worry about it. Come back to it again tomorrow. Be sure to practice individual difficult measures. Practice slowly if you need to, and eventually you'll get it. Good job, and we'll see you next time.